Does that little voice inside you ever whisper to you? Can you hear it saying, slow down? Does a friend, maybe your wife or husband, ever tell you to slow down? Maybe a coworker, supervisor, manager, or safety manager, do they ever shout out to you to slow down? I'm Marty, and I thank you for joining us today here at Warehouse and Operations as a Career. Let's talk about slowing down just a little bit today. If you are a long-time listener, you'll know that one of my more serious pet peeves isn't operations related at all. I never understand why people, instead of, just waiting their turn to turn left in their vehicle, will race up to the light and turn from the center lane, almost right into you. Now, I know that they're special, but by cutting in front of others, it cheats others out of their time. And then all the people running the red lights that you've seen these last several months. It seems everyone is in a hurry. Slow down. Now, these last several months, we've been kind of placed on hold, I think. I understand that part. Maybe we couldn't get out like we wanted to and do everything that we wanted to get done. Or maybe even our work hours have been cut way back. Maybe we were even laid off. Things like that. I don't know. But we can't make that time up by speeding through everything now. Or that's how I feel anyway, especially in the workplace, and really for several reasons. So this week I've mostly made my way through the days and across the docks observing, commenting, and hearing from associates that need to slow down. I'm not talking about letting go of that rabbit switch on their pallet jacks or using the third click position on their forklift accelerator. I mean slow down. Quit rushing everything. Quit trying to position yourself in the workplace hierarchy. Quit trying to do something before we're ready to do it, just because others can perform the task like that. Slow down. Here's a good example of what I'm trying to say. A young gentleman with about 4 years of warehouse experience went through a staffing agency and landed himself a job with a great company. He had experience on the electric rider pallet jack and the set-down forklift. He had been hired as a material handler, basically unloading trucks, doing a little bit of shipping, things like that. Front dock kind of work, I guess you could say. Anyway, on his second day, and I mean his second day at his new job, he went up to his supervisor and told him that he had forklift experience and wanted to change positions. Now, as you know, I am a big believer that we should always make sure that our management team knows what we want to do and that we do want more. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with him sharing his short-term goals or that plan with that member of management. However, telling his boss that he didn't like what he was doing and that he'd have to quit if he couldn't be a lift operator was not the way to have handled the situation. Upon hearing that, his boss kind of took that as a resignation and walked him up to HR. Now, I knew the gentleman. I feel like he would have been an operator in under 12 months. I'm thinking like maybe just 6 months. I asked him about it, and he said that just was not going to work for him. It was too long of a wait. Here's another good one. A young lady went through a PIT class. She was observed and licensed to operate the electric rider pallet jack. She informed her trainer that she could also operate the set-down lift. He explained that her supervisor would have to sign off on the request to pit her on both pieces of equipment. When they spoke to the supervisor, they said, let's start off with the jack for now, as this is where you're going to be working. Well, about 6 hours later, she was seen on the counterbalance lift. When asked if during her PIT class it had been explained to her that she was not to get on or even be around a piece of equipment that she had not been, trained on and certified to operate. She was honest and said yes, but she had told her trainer and her supervisor that she could drive the lift, and they should have marked that on her card anyway. She was asked to leave. We have to slow down, people. One more and then we'll move on. A young lady is in the grocery store checkout line. She's the fourth person from the cashier. You can tell that she's getting kind of frustrated and wanting the line to move much quicker. She grabbed like 3 more items off of the impulse buy shelves while she was waiting. The cashier greeted her. She said nothing. The person bagging up the groceries was placing everything in the bags for her. Evidently not fast enough, though, or maybe she wanted the merchandise bagged a certain way. She handed the cashier some coupons and then seemed kind of put out that the checker had to read them or look them over. She inserted her credit card or pay card and started gathering the bags while it was being approved. Once approved, she pulled the card out and started walking out with all but 1 bag of her groceries. Now, the cashier and I both hollered for her, but to no avail. She never turned around. Now, who do you think she's going to be upset with when she gets home and discovers that she didn't grab all of her product that she had bagged herself? I want to say it again. We have to slow down, people. Okay, enough of all that. How about we talk about making some money? Myself and a couple of other recruiters, well, I guess most light industrial recruiters right now, work this week sourcing bona fide high productivity order selectors. I myself always use some type of questionnaire or interview sheet before I reach out to a candidate by phone. I'll source for resumes, find a few that I feel might be the right fit for the position, and send them an email introducing myself. Share what caught my eye when reading through their resume, and ask that they complete a brief questionnaire that I'm attaching for further review. I explain that once I receive that back, which is really all automated anyway, I would like to set up a phone interview to discuss the position. Now, questionnaires are really easy to make and even easier to answer. Yet, well, let me give you an example real quick. An order selector filled out about half the questionnaire. I think it had 15, 16 questions. All but 3 or 4 were even multiple choice, some as quick as just clicking on a picture. The one he stopped on was, what kind of pay program would you prefer? The answers were activity-based programs, base plus incentive programs, pure piece pay programs, hourly rate, or any of the above. He chose hourly rate and just hit submit. Of course, his answer was fine. I myself do not know of too many high productivity selector positions that pay by the hour, though. An order selector in that setting generally wants to be paid for what him or her actually does instead of earning the same as someone producing less cases per hour than them. I, of course, reached back out to the individual, thanked him for his reply, and stated that if I ran across something that met his qualifications and wants, that I would certainly be in contact. He gave me a call and wanted to know why he didn't get the position. I shared that, as he had not completed the brief questionnaire, I did not have enough information to give him a call regarding his experiences and qualifications. He was upset with me. He was in a hurry. Now I get it. An applicant may fill out 10 applications a day, maybe even more online. I'm sure it gets old, probably even frustrating. But it's part of the process. That's how we get a job. Think of the recruiter for a minute. They may look at 200 resumes a day for each position that they are sourcing for. Sometimes people just apply to everything on the job boards, even if they do not have the experiences or the skills necessary to perform the advertised task. Out of that 200 resumes, they may find 50 people that they feel would be a good fit, so they call or email them for a response. We as applicants have to be on our game from this point on. Well, I'm drifting from the points that I wanted to talk about. I have a great webinar titled Seeking Work is Hard Work. Send me a request through host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com, and I'll send you a free link to it. You know, seeking employment is a job when we're unemployed. So, productivity is what I wanted to get back to. When I'm interviewing for a skilled distribution position, I am wanting to talk to that individual that is experienced, the man or woman that comes in talking about selection averages, cases per hour, case percentages. I don't even mind if they ask what is the most that I can earn. In this business, safety, accuracy, and productivity is your key to success. Just this Tuesday, a gentleman came up to me and said he felt like the batches are rigged. He said he never gets an easy batch. Batches are just the next, bunch of labels to be pulled, the next stops, if you will. In this case, the next 3 pallets of 62 cube. I shared with him that in today's world with the strict WMS or warehouse management systems, it would be pretty much impossible to know what routes were coming down next. He agreed, but said he's working harder than everyone else and getting fewer cases. I told him that was very much possible, that he needed to quit working harder and start working smarter. Now that stumped him for a few minutes. So we discussed how he handled breaks and lunches. He said he would head to the break room a couple of minutes, before break time or lunchtime so he could get a good seat and be able to take his whole break. I pointed out that I bet then you wait until break is over before you head back to the aisles and your pallet jack, right? Well, he confirmed that for me. I asked, were there others that got there late or left early? He said yes, but I don't know why they don't take their whole break. I expressed that they were selecting before their time started again, giving them more cases per hour and earning them more money. I asked him if he did much talking in the aisles. He stated, no, not really, but you can't just work, your whole shift while you're selecting. I asked him, did he know anyone that never spoke to him during the shift? He said, of course, several actually. I asked him if they were the same ones that left the break room early. He laughed and said, yes, sir, pretty much, it's the same group. And then I asked him if that group was the ones he felt was earning more than him. At that point, he said, those guys have their own little pallet stash. They cut through the cross aisles. They stack their pallets level at all times. They have to hate their jobs the way that they work at it. I just kind of laughed and said, those are the guys that love their jobs. They're the best of the best at it. I pointed out that they all had been doing this a lot longer than he had. Maybe learn from them. Work smarter, not harder. Earn more, and then help out another new boot. There is no magic pill, people. We all can do more and work less. We just need a plan. Learn from others and apply ourselves to produce more and earn more. If you'd like to know more about improving your productivity, send us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com and we'll set up a free call. Maybe we could give you some pointers. Well, until next week. Oh, you know what? I just noticed this is our 260th consecutive weekly episode. You keep showing up and I'll keep talking. We appreciate you stopping by each week. Like I was saying, until next week, please slow down. Listen to others. They may be able to help you. And above all, be safe. It's what we should do.